and I thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the best and most annoying anime tropes that we see all throughout the medium. Is anime overrated? Is anime overrated? Maybe. So I've had my team make me a quick short list of some of the most prevalent anime tropes. This isn't a complete list of every anime trope, because God forbid there are so many. But it is pretty much a lot. I look at this and I'm like, I can't really think of many others that are not just like genres or shit like that. Okay. Let's see if this... Can we see that all right? Oh my god. He really had to pick some of these, didn't he? Oh god. Okay. So as you know, if you watch enough anime, you see some things that are prevalent in the anime medium. Some of them I never get bored of, no matter how many times I see it. Sometimes I'm like, this is just anime being anime. And sometimes I'm just like, man, this makes me ashamed to be an anime fan. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorites and some of my most detested anime tropes and cliches that you can find in the genre. And we'll start off with this one. If chat, you have any others you want to recommend after this, we can do that as well. But we'll start with the baseline of what my team has come up with. So, first thing, the tragic anime backstory. Now, I don't know if this... I guess this is kind of a trope, right? Has it been done so many times that it is a freaking trope now? Holy shit. This... It's like, guys. This guy has a sad backstory. Actually, this is now an anime trope. So, this one is actually pretty fucking hard because tragic anime backstory covers an entire rainbow, an entire spectrum of different anime and different genres. And I don't know how I can boil it down to just one thing that I like or one thing that I don't like. I think the important thing about the tragic anime backstory, because when I hear about tragic anime backstory, here's the trope that I think of. Okay, there are two scenes, right? It's either the first scene is in the middle of a fight, and then you find out the tragic anime backstory, and that anime backstory leads to some kind of power-up. That means the character gets a power-up because they remember this tragic anime backstory, and then he defeats the villain because he remembers the powers of whatever happened in his backstory. And the other thing I think of with tragic anime backstories is motherfucking Demon Slayer, man. Motherfucking Demon Slayer. It's not the Demon Slayer trope, but my god, does Demon Slayer do this for fucking everyone, okay? Let me set the scene. The villain's about to die. We don't give a shit about the villain. Cut to tragic anime backstory. Now the villain is got a bad backstory. He's got a sad backstory. Oh, now you need to feel sympathetic for the villain, and then they die. and now we care. And of course, I'm just memeing on Demon Slayer, but it happens a lot, not just for villains, but one of the biggest death flags you can have in anime is if this character who has had no character development suddenly gets a shit ton of backstory and a shit ton of flashbacks, and it's all sad. You fucking know they're gonna die, man. You fucking know they are going to die. God damn. So I don't know if I'm a fan or if I'm not a fan. It all depends on how well is it executed, because this all depends on the execution. Because I'm going to be a fanboy for a second. Yes, this is completely formulaic, but you know, every time One Piece has every time One Piece has a flashback arc, you're gonna get the fucking feels, man. You know the gloves have come off, man. You are going to be crying, or some shit is going to be going down. And I know it's coming every time, and even though I know it's coming, it doesn't detract from its impact every single time. So I'm gonna put this right smack dab in the middle. I do not feel strongly for it or against it. It all depends on the execution, I believe, for this one, because I can think of good moments, and I can think of bad ways that this has been executed. So yeah, moving on to Ara Ara. Yeah, there's I was like, here's the thing. I was trying to think. Here's the thing, right? Has the internet ruined Ara Ara now? You know what I mean? You know, I'm trying to think. No, it hasn't. It hasn't to me. If I hear it in anime, I'm still like, yep. Yep. This one's a banger. This one's a fucking banger. Because let me tell you another thing, what I was trying to think of. Another thing that I think the internet has definitely ruined for me is the ahegao face. That shit used to be hot, and now I see enough TikTok girls doing that fucking face, enough cosplay girls, enough e-girls doing that face, and now I just fucking cringe, man. And now I just cringe. And that ahegao used to be S tier. It was never hot, yo. You capping, man. You capping, yo. In the good doujinshis, before we had those fucking people come to anime conventions in ahegao hoodies, before every sexy TikTok, sexy OnlyFans girl started doing it. It was fucking hot now, and now it's just cringe. I'm gonna be real, man. I'm gonna be real. But every time I hear an Ara Ara, whew, all right, still hits the same. Yes, it's been overused by the internet, but you know what? When I hear it in an anime, still hits the same for me, baby. All right. Still top tier. Signature attack. Is this the same one as shouting your attack names? Do we have a shouting attack names here? Because I put them on the same thing. No, okay. All right, so signature attack, or I guess like shouting your attack names, which is definitely very, very anime, which always happens with a signature attack. Yeah, this is A tier. This is A tier. Here's the interesting thing, right? This only works because it's anime. This only works because it's anime. You see a live action adaptation, or you see any live action film, if they start shouting out attacks, that shit's fucking weird and that shit's fucking cringe. But for some reason, when you see someone shouting attack names in anime, that shit is hype. That shit is always hype. And for some reason, it always fucking hits. And I'm gonna be a One Piece fanboy again. I'm gonna be a One Piece fanboy. You can see the difference between the live action One Piece adaptation and the normal One Piece anime, where in the anime, it felt normal for everyone, no matter how serious or goofy that character was, to shout out their attack names. And bonus points if you're an OG One Piece fan who knows the hype of when a character shouts an attack name and that attack has its own particular font that goes with it. Right? right, guys? That is fucking great. And then in the live action adaptation, it didn't work for some characters because it's fucking weird if you do it in live action. But it's this weird trope where it works in anime, and at worst, it's just at worst, shouting attack names is just a bare bones basic. Here's what every anime character does. At best, it brings so much fucking hype. It brings so much fucking hype. Gurren Lagann would not have been as hype if they just did not embrace the shouting attack names. All right, let's just say that. Okay, it's Giga Drill Breaker would not have been as hype if there was no attack name to shout with it. You know, you hear Bankai, or now it's or if you want the Gen Z version, you hear Domain Expansion. You know shit's gonna about to go down. You know the fucking it's just these small phrases that just signify you're about to get fucked. And you are ready to see the chaos unfold. Yeah. Signature attack names, fucking great, man. It's hype and it's a trope, but it doesn't hit every time, but when it does hit, whew, it is so fucking good. I'm actually trying to think, is there an actual example where shouting an attack name doesn't work in specific anime form? I'm trying to think, because I can't think of any time where it made the scene worse. Sports anime? Nah, absolutely no way. Shouting attack names is what makes sports anime, man. If you don't want attack names in sports anime, just go fucking watch sports, man. Okay. Moving on to beach episodes. Ooh. People saying S, people, chat, you, to all the people saying S, you are too blinded by boobies, man. You are too blinded by boobs. I'm gonna put B. I'm actually gonna put B. I think beach episodes kind of overused. They're fine. I'm never gonna complain about a beach episode. But to me, guys, I'm an onsen episode guy. Come on, guys, look, guys. Beach episodes are fine. All right. They're like, okay. They're fine. Wake me up when we get to the hot springs episode. That's the superior beach episode, man. Come on. Come on, guys. I know where my priorities lie. You know, beach episodes, that's sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss. It very much depends on, like I said, the execution. The onsen episode, let me tell you about the big difference between the onsen episode and the beach episode, right? Because, okay, they both have fan service, right? They both have girls and, you know, either the towels or, you know, bikinis or whatever. But with the onsen episode, there's always that tea that comes along with it. You know, it's not just the fan service. The girls start gossiping, and you hear the tea, and you're like, ooh, who likes who? Ooh, this is getting spicy, and you know that's. And that's what makes the onsen episodes for me, man. That is what makes the onsen episodes for me. More skin, more power, and more skin, more power. What about the pool episode? The pool episode is kind of like the beach episode to me. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel like beach episodes, sometimes there's a place for it, but there have been some beach episodes that have completely put the plot on a standstill, and that's kind of pissed me off, because I'm just like, yo, can we just get on with the plot, please? Unless you have something like Code Geass, where the beach episode is also technically the plot episode as well. That's the best kind of beach episode. that is the best kind of beach episode. But to me, I don't know if this is just my pure, I don't know if this is just my pure subjective memory, but I remember more cool onsen episodes than I do beach episodes. So beach episodes is a cool B. I'm not going to complain, but I'm not always going to be excited. It depends very much on where the placement of the beach episode comes in. Moving on to Catgirls, Monster Girls, etc. D, did you make this list? D? I know you made this list, D. What else? I know you put Catgirls, D, but did you really want to put how cat are we talking here, D? How furry are we talking here, D? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm kind of over it. I don't understand. I've never understood it. Okay, I've never understood it. Catgirls specifically. I don't know what's so exciting about it. I don't know what's so exciting. What gets added by this girl having cat ears, which is most of the time, that's the only commitment they have. They just have cat ears, right? And they meow for you, right? That's pretty much it. The only time I really get excited, I'm trying to think. Nah, you know what? Monogatari? Okay. See, this is where this is where we differ, right? I'm a Senjagahara guy, man. I'm a Senjagahara guy all the fucking way, man. I was like, I got my girl in Senjagahara. That's all I care about. Holo though? Oh, you are right. Oh, but she's a fox. She's not a cat. Catgirls, Monster Girls, etc. If it's just Catgirls, I do not really understand the appeal of Catgirls. I don't really understand. I mean, okay, let me rephrase. I don't really have an appeal towards Catgirls and Monster Girls, especially like Monster Girls are cool in concept, but when you get to the point where you go to like Monster Musume and you're having fucking slime girls and you're having fucking spider girls and horse girls. All right, let's actually, maybe let's not, maybe just bump it up a tier. Maybe just bump it up. I thought about it for a second. And I think what I just went through was that kombucha tea meme when I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah. I think I literally felt my neurons activating. I was like, I think what happened there was my logical brain went, this is really weird. And then some part of my lizard brain went, hold on for a second. Let him cook. Let him cook for a second. Yeah. You know, logically, I don't get the appeal of them. Sometimes there's a concept that I don't get, but you see it on screen and you're like, maybe I fuck with it. Maybe I do. I don't know why this is firing off neurons. This shouldn't fire off neurons, but it does for some reason. It does. Stand proud. You can cook. maybe by the end, this will be bumped up to A. Maybe I need to think about this more. For now, this goes into B. This goes into B. All right, moving on to explaining powers mid-battle. Ooh, people don't like this, do they? I'm really torn. I'm really torn because it's like you're either watching JoJo or Bucky or Hunter x Hunter, and it's like here, or you're watching everything else, and it's like here. Oh fuck. And it's like here. You know what I mean? Like when it's done well, it's so fucking good, but most of the time it ruins a lot of moments for me. In Hunter x Hunter, it was bad. Maybe I'm like forgetting Hunter x Hunter, but I think just because I found Nen so interesting as a concept. B for mid-battle, Jujutsu Kaisen does a great job. Okay, watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I've heard whispers from manga readers that okay, let me preface. One of the things I love about Jujutsu Kaisen is that, at least in the anime adaptation, it has a really good balance between explaining weird anime powers and letting those letting the powers speak for themselves and letting the visuals speak for themselves. That's why I think some of the action in Jujutsu Kaisen just goes so hard, just because I don't really feel a point where the explaining the anime powers gets in the way of the action. Because my problem with this is not the concept of explaining anime powers, it's the concept of explaining powers that ruins the pace of a fight. And making sure, and like kind of like having powers being explained that detract from the moment of the action itself. But I've heard from manga readers that the Jujutsu Kaisen powers only get more convoluted as time goes on, to the point where it's to the point where you need 2 fucking page spreads to explain some of these powers. So that's my opinion right now. I read Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know what's happened, go on. Okay. But yeah, one of the biggest marks of a good adaptation to me is when the anime chooses when to adapt the power explanations and when to let the visuals speak for themselves. Because I understand why this trope exists. This trope exists because action is fucking hard to portray on a still page, right? On a still page, you might need to hold the reader's hands. You might need to walk them through exactly what's happening. Because sometimes it's just fucking hard. But, you know, anime has an inherent advantage to the medium of manga, because instead of just having still images, you can show the action. The biggest example I can think of is the final fight in Demon Slayer Season 2. In Demon Slayer Season 2, when Tengen kind of like fucking comes in, and it's the scene. It's that scene from Demon Slayer Season 2. Reading the manga, he comes in, and then the manga pauses just to explain his music power. Just to explain his sound power. And it explains the sound power. And what Ufotable did was they went, all right, this is too much exposition for something that is going to be one of the most hype moments in this entire season. Let's just try to portray this through visuals as best as possible. And I'm going to be honest, I watched the anime and then read the manga. I did not fully know the intricacies of his powers just through the visuals alone. I got a good vibe of what his powers were, but I didn't know the exact he listens to this sound which allows him to do this. But what's important is it made me realize I didn't fucking need to understand the intricacies. You know, I don't need to understand every little thing that's going on. All I need to know is sound makes him do this and gives him a little bit of advantage. That equals hype moment. I don't need to know the exact intricacies of it. And I think too many anime are worried that you're not exactly translating over what this explanation of what this power does. So it very much depends on the show, but for the most part, I'm gonna keep it a C. I will keep it as a C because that's how I feel most of the time when I see really bad power explanations. There are some exceptions which are S tier, but for the most part, it's a C tier. For the most part, it's a C tier for me. All right, moving on to fan service. This is as a trope for anime. Yeah, this is B. This is B. Chat's too horny. Chat is too horny. Chat, what you do not understand. What you do not understand, chat. And this is very important, chat. There is a time and a place for fan service. I love fan service. I fucking adore fan service. But there are times where fan service does not belong in a show. All right? Fire Force. Yes, let's talk about Fire Force. Let's talk about the moments in Fire Force that were ruined because of fan service. And this wasn't, this isn't me complaining about fan service. This is me complaining about when you set some kind of tone, when you set a scene up, when you are invested emotionally in a scene for a different reason, and then they throw in fan service, then it's like using the ultimate technique, but using it wrong, so it backfires on you, you know? When you have a show like fucking 100 Girlfriends, let's just, woo! God damn, yes, I love this shit. When you have Monogatari, I'm like, yes, god damn, this is peak fiction right here, baby. Give me more of this stuff. But when you have a show that really does not have the right tone for fan service in it, and then you throw in fan service in it, that actually makes the show actively worse. Fan service, I would say fan service should be treated like the forbidden technique. All right, it's the forbidden technique of anime. Everyone knows it exists, but you can only use the forbidden technique in the right moment. All right, you can only use it in the right moment. All right, it's something that you need to save up because sometimes it can backfire on you. The forbidden jutsu of the anime world. Because another thing is that sometimes I watch a fan service show and I'm like, could have just watched a hentai, you know? I could have just watched a hentai. The entire ecchi genre, maybe I've just grown out of it. But there are very few specifically pure ecchi shows.
Kill la kill.
Counterpoint, Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill did it amazingly. But are we gonna get into this argument? The whole point of Kill la Kill was the fan service. It blended fan service and action, baby. It blended fan service and action. The only ecchi shows I can think of are ecchi shows that do something else as well. Something like 100 Girlfriends, something like High School of the Dead, something like High School DxD or Chain Soldier, you know? If it's just ecchi by itself, it's actually pretty boring, right? It's actually pretty boring, right? It's the spice. Actually, no, it's not a forbidden technique. It's the spice. Fan service is the nice sprinkling of spice you put on top. All right. Sometimes you can put spice. Sometimes the show needs a little spice. Sometimes it doesn't. All right. Think of it this way: is there a show where fan service ruins a show? I mean, I just said. I've just talked about shows like. I feel like this was more prevalent in a lot of older mid-2000s shows when they would just have to. I feel like it's dying down now. I feel like it's kind of dying down. But there are a lot of shows in, let's say, the mid to end 2000s that kind of felt like it just had to put fan service in for the sake of putting fan service in. And it kind of did not add anything to the show. And it kind of gave the show a more generic feel, in fact. You know? So I'm going to keep this one at B tier. Everything here really much depends on the execution of it. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about it, you know? Moving on to filler episodes, which is... Come on, this is... Thank God. This needs to be a tier lower than D. This needs to be a tier lower than D. I am so glad that filler episodes are now dying out. I am so glad that filler episodes are dying out. Because to me, I didn't understand the era that anime went through back in the big three shonen, where companies felt this pressure to keep airing this anime weekly. I'm glad they realized that audiences have enough patience to wait for seasons of anime so that they can enjoy highly condensed, high quality episodes instead of just shitting out weekly episodes and padding it out with filler episodes and filler arcs. You know? The only thing I will say is One Piece, please learn from that. I guess you kind of are half learning from that since you're getting a remake. Okay, actually, One Piece, please learn from that. For the One Piece. The One Piece is what I'm hoping One Piece's final form can be. One Piece is goated. I love filler. One Piece does it the worst, man. Because One Piece does it the worst. Because One Piece doesn't have filler episode. One Piece has filler in its episode. One Piece doesn't have filler episodes. All of One Piece's episodes has filler in it because they have filler scenes. And that makes it even harder to skip through, because at least with Naruto and Bleach, you could just skip the filler episodes, you know? One Piece filler arcs are better than Naruto canon arcs, man. Everyone's like, yo, One Piece has one good filler arc, that makes up for all the rest of One Piece filler. You know? Look, I love the G8 arc, okay? Is it G8? Is that the right arc name? I love that arc as well. But okay. How many good filler arcs are there in the history of anime? I can think of the G8 arc. I can think of, there's another good arc as well. In the original Hunter x Hunter adaptation, they had an entire new, I don't know if this counts as an arc, they had an entire arc which was another like midway exam, and I remember first watching Hunter x Hunter, I had no fucking idea it was filler. I genuinely, I did not know it was filler at all. Kakashi's filler? That was all right. That was all right. All right, question to you guys. When this is such an interesting question because we all know the concept of filler now, but when did you realize what filler episodes were? What was the moment when you realized when you realized the concept of a filler episode? Because for me, it was Naruto, right? For me, it was Naruto. I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched the driving test scene. It just did not click in my mind at all that, hey, this is not progressing the plot. I just thought, hey, this is some weird shit that they're doing. Is that you, hon?
Oh my god, crazy! Who just saw that?
I thought you were gonna jump scare me for a second.
I was trying to. I'm gonna take my makey off and then make some Madeline.
Hey.
Let me show off my shirt.
Hey.
Let me wait.
Oh yeah, you want to show off your shirt?
It was like I don't know. It's a good shirt. Alright. I'm gonna take my makeup off. I won't bother you.
Okay.
Okay, I love you.
What was that?
Oh,
Alright, here's the filler episode. Yeah, it was through the Naruto arc. It was after the Sasuke rescue arc where they had like a whole 2 years worth of filler or something. I'm gonna be real, when I saw the Kakashi Mask episode and when I saw the other filler episodes before that, I didn't know it was filler. I thought it was weak episodes. I didn't know it was filler. But as soon as that happened, something just clicked in my mind and it just made so much sense about, oh, that's why sometimes it feels like episodes just are shit. You know? So I was like, why is some episodes just like really horrendously shit and some not? I don't understand. I like the Kakashi Mask episode, to be honest. They just feel like pretty pointless, which is the entire point of filler. I think filler has given directors a bad rep because it means that sometimes directors are very, very much nervous to do anime-only scenes, and it's made manga readers think that if something is not in the manga and if it's an anime-only scene, then that is technically filler, right? But you look at a scene like Shikamaru's shogi match with his dad, which is technically, by the definition of filler, you know, a filler moment because it's not in the manga, but it adds so much to his character that was not present in the manga, and it built on the foundation that the manga had, and it's one of my favorite anime-only scenes in all of anime. What about recap episodes? Recap episodes is even below filler, man. Get that shit out of here. There's only one good one, and that's from Recreators. Absent or dead parents. Meh. It's not the worst thing in the world, and I know why it exists. It's overused, to be honest. Okay, my biggest question is, yes, there are so many fucking anime with absent or dead parents. Do we want the parents there, guys? Do we really want that in your storyline? You know, it's yes, it's unrealistic that every anime character has dead or absent parents. But do we really want to indulge in the realism so we can have a few fucking episodes where Naruto, not Naruto. What's a fucking high school anime? Because Naruto does have dead parents, but that's beside the point. That's important. That's important to the plot. I'm trying to think. Kirito? No, Kirito does. Kirito's parents shows up actually. Shit. Kirito and that shit was kind of hype. Shit, gone? Oh shit. I'm trying to think of an anime that just doesn't have fucking absent parents. Every dead parent I can think of is dead for like a reason. Shit. Eromanga Sensei. That's. Do you know one thing I've realized? Eromanga Sensei doesn't have parents in it, and Orimo does have parents in it, man. What does that say about the evolution of the story? Jojo. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Jojo. No, that's not a good one. They aren't absent. They depends on the Jojo, to be fair. But in general, even with someone like Kirito, for example, Kirito's parents are present. They do show up at the end of Alicization, but for the most time, they're absent, right? And to be fair, I don't think having a whole arc with his parents would have added any new dimension to Sword Art Online. A lot of the times, I think that they would just they would just affect the pacing. The only times absent or dead parents are good is when it actually builds on the plot or the themes or helps with the character development of the show. If you don't want to put parents in your story because it doesn't add anything, then that's fucking fine. You know, I don't really care. Doesn't really add or anything to the show, but to be fair, doesn't really detract anything from the show either. Some MCs have parental issues. I think most of them do, man. All right, moving on to genre deconstruction. Is this even a trope? Genre deconstruction. Can I add a new tier, which is just can I add a new tier, which is just what is a deconstruction? It's hard to call this a trope. Number one, because I don't think anyone really truly understands what a genre deconstruction is. One of the biggest trends that started in the video essay community is we would call X show deconstruction, and then we would have new video essays being like, actually X show isn't a deconstruction. It's now just a meme just to call everything a deconstruction. Calling something a deconstruction now is more a marketing strategy to be like, yo, this one, it's different. Hunter x Hunter, it deconstructs the shonen genre. It's so different, guys. It's so different. It's you know, it kind of just became a meme. So I'm actually going to omit this just because I don't know how this is a trope at all. Unless it's just the fan base calling everything a genre deconstruction, which in which case it would be C or D tier, because like, to me, sometimes you can have interesting ideas, and sometimes you can play on existing tropes and do interesting things with them. At the end of the day, you need to have a good storyline anyway, with interesting ideas that doesn't just, to me, a lot of times, if a show, this doesn't just count for deconstruction, it counts for like parodies as well. If a show purely exists just to parody a genre without being able to live on its own legs, without being able to stand up on its own legs, I think that that show ends up being very, very shallow. So, moving on to the power of friendship. I'm gonna put it C tier. I'm gonna put it C tier. Power of friendship gets a bad rep, I think, because of Fairy Tail. Because of Fairy Tail, right? I think Fairy Tail. Okay, there are two sides of this coin. Okay, there's. Let me break this down for you guys. Let me break this down. Call it the power of friendship. F tier, right? F tier. Call it having nakama. S tier, right? Because we have One Piece. Right? But are they not the same thing? It's the nakama power. A lot of times I think it is definitely the anime trope where working together, the power of friendship prevails. But I do think that there is some kind. It's not like completely in. It's not completely. It's not completely down here like F tier. You know, we have shit like. Let me think for a second, guys. Let me think. Okay. Are we counting like comrades and bonds in the power of friendship, guys? Are we counting like comrades and just the bonds between your comrades in the power of friendship? Because are we just going to discount Gurren Lagann, guys? Are we just going to discount that and how hype that was? Or the fucking bonds of friendship that my crew in JoJo went through, you know? I think it's cringe if it solely relies on just the power of friendship prevailing through everything. But having a strong bond with your fellow comrades and your fellow comrades around you and wanting to become stronger because of that, I think that's good. I think that's fucking goated, and I think that can bring some really, really hype moments. If you have shit like Fairy Tail, or let's say the ending of Soul Eater, where it kind of just becomes this really cheap, lazy way to have the character power up, then that becomes, you know, that becomes a bit lazy, you know? Even Bocce is a good example. Yeah, power of friendship doesn't necessarily, to me, means that you get a, you know, you get some arse pool power up, you know? Power of friendship could be anything, but unfortunately it is a lot of the times seen as a bullshit power up, which it is in the worst cases. So I think this is C tier. I think conceptually there are some things that can work well with having friends and having comrades and all that kind of shit, guys, but you know, we're weebs, man. We're weebs. Let's be honest. We're weebs. We fucking need more friends, all right? we need more friends, okay? This ain't a bad message to be spreading for anime fans, all right? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Moving on to Harems. right, I'm just gonna be degenerate for some reason. I feel like being a degenerate because I just watched 100 Girlfriends.
I don't know who made this tier list, but hats off to you for putting Tenchi Muyo as the picture representative for Harems. Truly a certified hood classic.
Oh, bro, that's going back, man. That's going back. Harems, huh? Can harems ruin a show? Can a show be ruined specifically by having harems in it? Okay, here's an important question, okay? Because I think there are two types of people, all right? There are two types of people. Okay. I think this is the latest example of this shit, right? Oshinoko. This was one of the highest rated shows, of last year. And the people I've talked to have had two kinds of opinions about Oshinoko. They had the point where they were invested because of the murder mystery aspect. And then they kind of introduced the whole best girl aspect to it, where it suddenly just became, oh, who likes the main characters more? Is it this girl? Is it that girl? And a lot of people didn't like it. I didn't happen to be one of those people. I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. I can see why it's not for everyone, but I'm not gonna complain. I actually don't mind this trope too much. Let me tell you why Harems is in S tier for me specifically. Okay? To some, it may ruin, or to some, it may detract from the point of the series, or it may detract from another point of the series. To me, I see harem, and I'm like, ooh, I sense a bit of spice. I sense a bit of spice in the story coming up. Ooh, okay. I'm ready for this. I'm always ready for a bit of spice here, man. I'm always ready. I'm not gonna say no as a Thai man myself. Yes, it's completely trashy. Yes, it's not for everyone. But I'm just gonna fully embrace the fucking trash man that I am. I can't think of a single place where a harem has actively ruined a show for me. I'm legitimately trying to think. Obviously, if they added like a harem to One Piece or something, then I would think it would be awful. But for me personally, I can't think of SAO. Are you gonna really pretend that it was the harem that ruined SAO? Are we really gonna pretend that? Are we really gonna pretend that it was specifically the harem? Bro, that's too many girls. Look, to me, I thought Asuna was pretty basic anyway, and to me, I was just like, if SAO didn't have a harem, we wouldn't have had Superior Saber. Unironically, the best girl in SAO, guys. Come on, guys, come on. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. Alicization. Alicization. That's all you need to say, man. They gave us Tsundere Saber, and yeah, it was downright trashy, and yeah. But sometimes you just gotta embrace that trash, man. Sometimes you gotta embrace that trash. I'ma say no. I'ma say I enjoy the harem trope. Is it okay? Is it something? If it's a pure harem anime, that's still interesting. Like I said in my previous video, if you watch a harem anime, you're not watching a romance anime. You're watching a sports anime. And that's what I like about Harems, man. It turns the anime into a sport. And that's just an extra layer I can get behind. All right, moving on. Now, people are going to get the completely wrong idea of what I think about this. Let me think about this for a second. Yep. Yes, I said it. Okay, and while we're here, let's just put this here as well. Let's just put this here. Okay, let's just put that there. All right. People think because of some kind of shows that I like, that oh God must think it's fucking here or something, right? God must think it's fucking here. No, okay. People misunderstand why I enjoy the shows that I enjoy, okay? I enjoy it, like I said, I enjoy it when there's a little bit of spice added, when there's a little bit of a taboo, a little bit of spice, a little bit of danger in there. Most of the time, you see this shit, and it's the most fucking basic, ooh, Oni-san, ooh, Oni-chan, ooh, I'm a good little sister. Oh, Oni-chan. Oh, and I'm like, that's just fucking. That's the cringe, man. That is the cringe. Okay. Maybe I just hate little sisters, man. Okay, actually, hold on a second. I'm thinking about this. I've realized. Maybe if it's an Oni-san, I'm more okay with it. I'm like, wait. But what if it's an Oni-san? Oh. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Wait. Oh, shit. Single child moment. This is totally me being a single child moment. But I do feel like most of the sisters in anime are little sisters, right? I feel like they are. I feel like the balance is skewed. I feel like there are way more Imotos than there are One-sans, and like. This conflated with this most of the time is just the most bare bones, basic ass. Here's your doujinshi bait character right here, and I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for. This does not sell me on the show. In fact, this makes it even worse for me. You know. There are only a few Imotos that I will stand by. One of them is from Bunny Girl Senpai, and one of them is from Monogatari. And that's because they are just interesting characters to begin with. Kirino? I should rewatch Orimo to see if my opinion's changed. I'm gonna be real. I have fond memories of Orimo, and I'm not sure if that's because I actually really like the show, or if that's just because I had so much fun with the shit show that it caused that just made me conflate Orimo as being a really positive experience for me. It's like I have like a few shows like this. One of them is Darling in the Franxx as well, where the shit show surrounding the thing was way more entertaining than what happened at the end of the show. It gave me a different kind of entertainment. You know what I mean? But for the most part, obviously there are exceptions to this rule. But for the most part, when I see a little sister character, I'm just like, fuck. Come on, man. Really? Really? Most of the time, it depends on, are they going to be an actual character? Are they actually going to be a fleshed out character? Are they going to do something interesting with this concept? And most of the time, 90% of the time, I don't think they do something interesting with that concept. And that is my opinion on that. Not another isekai. This is a good B tier. This is a good B tier for me. I think I would be lying if I put it here. I think I would just be lying to myself. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. Of course, I'm the isekai trash man, but even as someone who defends isekai to the death, I don't think I can put it any higher than B tier. It's not really a trope. It's more of like just a genre at this point. Alright, so are you saying harems are better than isekais confirmed? I'm saying that harems is what carry the isekai genre. I'm kidding. But I don't think that it's a coincidence that a lot of isekai have harem in it. Alright, I need the toilet quickly. I will be right back. Okay, time for the next one. We have the 1,000-year-old Loli one. I'm gonna be real, guys. This is D tier for me, man. I know it's a trope, and I'm not on the camp of some takes you would see on Twitter. So I'm not on the camp on some of like the takes you would see on Twitter. But fucking why? Why do we want this? Why do we want this? Let's take one of the most famous ones, for example, Shinobu. Are you going to say to me, unironically, that you know, the child Shinobu is superior to the fucking Onesan or MILF Shinobu? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know? Yes, she is. No, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. And what really has confused me recently is just because in recent times, just because now there's a really old anime character, if there's just a really old anime character, people just assume it's a thousand-year-old like Loli trope. I see this with Freeren now, where Freeren's like, she's the fucking trope, and I'm like, is she? I don't know if my eyes are fucking different, but she just looks like a normal person. I'm like, obviously she has the personality of an old woman, but even on an aesthetic level, she just looks like, to me, she doesn't look any differently than most other standard anime characters at all. She's just like a little short, right? I don't even know if she's short. What about Beatrice? Okay, here's the thing about Beatrice, okay? Here's the thing about Beatrice. She needs to be fucking protected, bro. She needs to be fucking protected, man. I stand by Beatrice, man. I'm a fucking protector, man, because she needs it. Beatrice needs a fucking hug, man. She needs a hug. I don't know who she is. From ReZero. I don't. How old is she even, man? How old is she even? The problem with the problem with this trope a lot of the time is that, you know, I look at someone like Beatrice and I'm like, I just need to protect this person. I need to give this person a hug. The problem is, a lot of times they're not made for that purpose. Which leads on to our next one. The other worst trope of anime is just, why is this a character trope, man? Why is this a character trope? What does this add to your series? Jiraiya Sensei? Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't, no, not my Jiraiya. No, no. That's. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this, guys. Sanji? Okay, Sanji, the pervert thing with Sanji, I never thought was particularly funny, you know? There are some One Piece jokes where I'm just like, this is even... Sorry, I just checked that there's no fucking nothing. Like, there are some jokes with One Piece that I just thought, this is a bit lazy. To me, being a pervert, adding a pervert thing as a joke is at best, kind of eye-rolling. At worst, is fucking Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, and actively makes me dislike you. You know? It actively makes me dislike you. The only place I think it works, is because it's a core part of the character, which is fucking Rudius. And that's because you're not fucking meant to like Rudius, you know? Because it does. It does. Mineta as well, holy shit. You're so fucking right. Oh, I hate Mineta so much. Oh, God. Oh, man. Mineta is awful. Oh. yeah, like I said, if you're gonna have this pervert character or give your anime character this pervert trope, at worst, it actually actively makes me hate that character and it actually detracts from the show. And at best, most of the time, it's just some cheap joke that just gets an eye roll out of me. You know, that's most of the time that I see a pervert character, which is just like, I get like, ugh, okay. Like, you know, even in some of my favorite shows, like with Sanji or with Brooks, you know, whenever he does the panties joke, I'm just like, okay. One Piece, you have good comedy. One Piece, you can make me laugh. This is not a joke that I really think works for the series. Okay. Moving on to power-ups. I mean, is there a non-hype power-up scene? Is there a non-hype power-up scene? Nah, this is Esther. This is this is S tier. This is.
Can you link the list in chat for us to make our own lists with?
Sure. There you go. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think if there is any point that a power-up detracts from a show. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. At best, we get something fucking legendary that permeates popular culture, like... No. Actually, you're right. This is A tier. This is A tier. I had to think about it for a second. I had to think about it. And unfortunately, even though there are some very hype scenes, there are some ass pulls as well. There have been times where I've seen a power up and I'm like, oh, this is a bit coming out of nowhere, isn't it? It's kind of detracting from the hype. Atomic? Nah, that is not one of them, man. that is not one of them. But I will say that the arse pool scenes feel like they are less prevalent than the actual hype power-ups. For like 90% of anime power-ups, this is the scene that the entire anime has been building towards. This is the scene that you're going to be rewatching, and most of the time, it is absolutely fucking hype. This is some of the reason we watch anime, and it's one of the things that anime is best known for. You get an A tier. Student council. I am indifferent towards this one. I don't really have much to say about it. I'm kind of indifferent. I don't have a feeling one way or another. When I see a student council, I'm not exactly like, fuck this show. But when I see a students council, I'm also not like, fuck yes, let's go. I really don't have much to say about this. Works well in Kaguya? Well, I think Kaguya could work in a lot of different ways. The characters just have chemistry with each other. It just happens to be the fact that they're in the student council, you know? Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Same with the Deres as well. Actually, I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna put this down. The Deres, okay? The Deres. Because at the end of the day, I'm talking about all of the Deres, right? I'm talking about all of the Deres. What I want is not a tsundere. What I want is a well-realized, well-written character first that might have tsundere traits or might have other traits, for example. If something is just a Dere, if there's a character that is just a Dere, then a lot of the times they are just a one-dimensional character trope that is really lazy. That is not to say that obviously I don't like tsunderes and everything like that. But if there is just a bare bones basic tsundere that is nothing, that has no more depth than just the classic tsundere traits, I'm out. I'm fucking out. Sydney catching strays, bro. Bro. Wait, did you just call my wife one-dimensional, good sir?
What about
are you looking for a band, good sir?
Good anime trope.
What about the church is bad / demons good anime trope? Is that a trope? like to me, I put this in C because I feel like anime writers and anime content creators, anime artists and writers should always put the character first. And here's the thing, I understand why the Deres, like why these character tropes exist, but they should get these traits as a natural evolution of what their character is meant to be about. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be their identity. They should have an identity above that and then have like traits being like, oh, this person reminds me of a tsundere. There should be an absolute exact reason why they are acting the way they do. People are talking about Rin Tosaka. Rin Tosaka is one of the best tsunderes because she's a fucking great character, you know? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing, my guy. Hitagi Senjugahara, I don't even know what Hitagi Senjugahara technically counts as. Like, what does she count as? She's a bit of everything, right? She's not really one or the other, but she is just a very interesting character. She's just a very good character. So yeah, that's why Deres to me should be C tier. All right, moving on. Generic protagonist. Guys, let me think. I feel like this is not doing it any justice because it says generic in it. So I'm trying to think if there's any counter argument for it to not be D tier. I'm like, No, I got nothing, guys.
Unironically, anime trope deconstruction.
I do not know what that means. Which trope are you talking about? Which trope are you talking about? I think if it's generic protagonist, then yeah, with the word generic, it's always going to be in D tier. What I was thinking was self-insert protagonist, and I'm thinking, is a self-insert protagonist bad? Well, on a okay, I'm gonna add a little spice. I'm gonna add a little spice in this, guys. I'm gonna add a little spice in this. All right, for a second. Okay, I'm gonna change generic protagonist to self-insert protagonist. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring it up one. Just one tier, guys. Guys, we were all 14 at one point. All right, guys. We were all 14 at one point. All right. There was one point in our life when we were kids, we were innocent, and we just wanted to dream, man. We just wanted the fantasy, man. You know, are you going to crush a kid's dream just because they want to self-insert themselves into some what we perceive as some cringy situation now. No, okay? If he can't hope to get a bunch of girls, a bunch of fake anime girls, then what hope does he have? All right. All right, that's the best I can come up with. That's the best I can come up with. Okay, wait. I can keep cooking. All right. Guys, if self-insert generic bland protagonist was so bad, then let me ask you, as the edgy 14-year-old, do you think you are any more interesting of a person? All right. Do we really think? Can we really say that we weren't maybe the bland protagonists ourselves at one point, guys, okay? Maybe there's a reason they exist. Maybe there's a reason that we find it so easy to insert ourselves into that character, okay? Dude. You know, I liked generic protagonists when I was 14 because I didn't have to think. I didn't have to overly think. I liked Love Hina. I liked Love Hina. I discovered Love Hina when I could get no bitches, and made me feel like for just a split second, that I could. And then I grew up. All right. And then I grew up. This is for the 14-year-olds out there. All right, moving on. Tournament arcs. Fuck yeah, now we're talking. No. Oh, good. No. There is. I will not accept anything else. You can be having the most dog shit anime of all time. You can have an anime that's completely fallen off. You put a tournament arc in it, and I am completely interested again. Is it used a lot? Yes. Is every tournament arc built the same? No. But sometimes you just have a formula that works. Okay, you can have other series that do some things differently, but it's just such an easy way to, number one, build up a huge cast of characters, introduce naturally a new, like, a big, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word for, like, a group ensemble? It's just such an easy way to introduce a huge ensemble of new characters, and such an easy way to build up compelling narratives with rivals, with friendship, with a lot of different bonds that you can build up. And it's just a fucking easy way to bring the hype. I don't know. It's easy. It's easy. Is it cheap? You could argue that it's cheap, but it works every time. It works every time. It's just peak. There is no chance that I see a tournament arc and I check out, you know? This is what gets me interested into shows. Sure, you can get more creative, but we're ranking tropes on how much we like them, and I fucking love tournament arcs. The Fang. Okay, here's an important question, guys. Here's an important question. Are we doing the meat fang? Are we doing the meat fang or just the little fang? Just the little fang. I don't know. I don't know. I dig it. Actually, I kind of dig it. I don't know why it makes such a difference. I don't know why it makes such a difference. But it's so weird, right? You have a little anime girl. You have like this anime girl smiling, and it's like, all right, that's all right. You had a little fang, and you're like, yo, that's adorable as fuck, man. Yeah, why is that adorable as fuck? Suddenly, this is my aesthetic. I mean, Astolfo just ruined an entire generation of boys with his flesh fang, and only his flesh fang, right? You skin fang? No, fuck you. Fuck the skin. The skin fang is great, man. The skin fang is great. All right, I'm not gonna say anything more about that. All right, High School. I mean, there have been good high school animes, but I roll my eye most times I see it. It's not completely D tier, but my god, can we have more settings, please, than just high school? I would love to have more settings than just high school. Please, anime, please. There's not much more to say about this. I would just like more variations in it. I'm an anime watcher, so I can't hate the high school setting, but I can damn well wish that that there could be more settings out there. In a monologue. I kind of dig it. It's... Oh. A lot of the times it depends, but this is something that I think works well because it's anime, I guess. Something similar to signature attacks. It kind of breaks... It kind of breaks the convention, the convention of storytelling. A lot of times where it's like, oh, you need to show, not tell. And sometimes I'm just like, maybe you should tell me and not show me. I'm a dumb baby. I want to know what's going on.
I really enjoyed your 100 Girlfriends video. I even checked out the game that sponsored it. Really glad it's not November anymore.
Oh, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean... You can have moments where you just brings a new dimension to the scene that's going on, especially with something like Death Note and Code Geass and stuff like that. It's only at A tier and not S tier because there are some moments where I'm looking at esports anime. There are some moments where I think, okay, this is way too overdone. I am watching someone shoot a basketball, and this is taking 20 fucking minutes because of what's happening to see this guy shoot a fucking basketball. No one thinks that fast. But when we are just doing mind games, shit's kind of hype, man. Shit's kind of hype. And yeah, I kind of dig it. Sometimes I want the narration. How do I feel about narration? I feel like that's almost the same. I sleep at mind games. I think when done right, mind games are fucking great. Mind games are even more compelling to me than actual anime battles sometimes. All right. Actually, I gotta ask, because this is something that has now gone out of anime culture, because I believe they had inner monologues in Creed 3, right? Did it work for live action as well? For anyone who's seen Creed 3. Unless I've been told Unless I've been told the wrong things. Damn, did no one here watch any films? Did no one here watch any films? Alright. Not a single person. Not a single person. Oh god damn it! What is that? What is that? A cinema? We don't watch cinema here. We don't watch cinema here. Ew, ew! Get out of here! All right, moving on. Nosebleeds, same as perverts. I don't understand how this trope started. I actually don't know where this trope started. I don't get it. I never got it as a kid. I remember the first scene in Naruto, or the first episode of Naruto had a nosebleed. That was my first exposure to it. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then everyone started to do it. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. That is, nosebleeds are just the PG-13 way to say someone is bricked up. And as soon as you realize that, you're like, wow, that's weird. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is a children's show. Oh, they're having a nosebleed. Oh, they're just really bricked up now. Oh, okay. S tier. Imagine having a nosebleed every time I'm horny. I would die, bro. I would imagine if that actually happened every time you were horny. Yo, you'd die from blood loss, man. All right, Gojo popping a boner in Dress Up Darling is peak fiction. Actually, yeah, if you're gonna do that, imagine you had that scene and Gojo just had a fucking nosebleed. No, just give the guy a boner. Just show them being bricked up and just deal with it. Just embrace it, man. All right, moving on. Overpowered main character. This is overpowered main character beta. Really much depends on the execution. Really depends on the execution. For every Sid Kagano, for every Anos Voldigode, sorry, for every Ainz, there is 10 million generic overpowered isekai protagonists that do not deserve the title or the powers that they have. Imagine a Gojo show. Well, Gojo luckily isn't the protagonist of Jujutsu Kaisen, or I mean the fan base certainly thinks he is. But to me, it all comes down to the execution of the overpowered MC itself. Are you doing anything interesting with that overpowered MC, or are you just being an overpowered MC for the sake of being an overpowered MC? You know, Saitama, yeah, Saitama's doing something different. Saitama and Mob are both very interesting characters. Conceptually. So this one goes right in the middle for me. Isn't the execution the case with every one of these? Yeah, for me, the overpowered MC, it kind of is, but to me, the overpowered MC execution, I think, from what I've seen, and maybe you guys don't get as much exposure as I do, but the execution of overpowered MC, to me, feels 50-50. Why does it feel 50-50? Because I watch isekai. That's why it feels 50-50. If you watch shonen, you'll probably be like, yo, overpowered MC? That's fucking S tier. Hell yeah, man, let's fucking go. But for me, I'm like, it's kind of 50-50. I don't know which way it swings, man. All right, moving on. Running with toast in mouth. It's weird, right? It's weird because running in toast with mouth, I feel like it's kind of fallen off. It's kind of fallen off. When was the last time you saw it? When was the last time you saw it? Dead trope. It's a dead trope. It had its charm. It's not completely D tier. It wasn't completely D tier. It had its charm. Actually, I'm going to put a B tier. I have no feelings about it. I have no feelings about it. I see an anime girl running with toast. I'm like, whatever. It's a cute aesthetic. I have no feelings. It's whatever. I think it's pretty pointless now because I've realized that they have stopped using it. You know, they've stopped using it. I can't remember the last time I actually saw a cute anime girl running with toast. It's an endangered. You know what? Maybe if I see an anime girl running with toast, I will get nostalgic again. I'd be like, yo, they did the thing, man. Bring it back. Actually, bring it back. All right. Almost over. Hero/villain team up. Bro, this is so... Oh, boy. Boy. Let me tell you, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. You know it's hype, man. This villain could have been the most detestable piece of shit of all time. He could have committed war crimes for all I care. You team up with the hero, you're like, hell yeah, man. Oh, it's the villain and the hero teaming up for a greater evil. It's just, I don't know why. There are some tropes where I'm just like, ooh, my little brain goes, ooh, I like this, I'm interested, this is hype, this is cool, I love this. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's something that definitely could not exist. It's logic like this that could not exist in the real world. But in the fictional world of anime, if you team up with the villain, for some reason, your brain is just like, I forgive everything you've done beforehand. Who did you kill? I've forgotten. What did you do? I've forgotten. Let's just enjoy these two unlikely duo just teaming up. Yeah. And to me, okay, now we're getting into the real shit. This Timeskip, I honestly think Timeskips out of everything, this is the best. This not everything else has been in order, but I will say I fucking love Timeskips, man. Timeskips is so good. Timeskips, I think, is my favorite narrative trope that you can find in anime. and maybe just in general. Feels cheap. Okay, here's what I love about Timeskips, right? Here's what I love about Timeskips. There's like the mystery aspect to Timeskips. The first few episodes or the first few chapters after a time skip, you are just so fucking excited about. It's like coming to a high school reunion again and just seeing what everyone's been up to and just catching up with everyone and seeing the type of adults that people turn into. That is some of the most exciting. That is some of the most excitement when you start a new arc. it's. I remember the first time I've saw was probably like Naruto, and just seeing. Okay, in the case of a shonen, number one, you're like, yo, how many new attacks do you know? Yo, how many new attacks do you know now? How much did you power up? Are you like on the power scaling part of things? Are you A tier? Are you S tier? How many secret different techniques do you know now? And then you get to see the new character designs as well, and you're like, yo, you fucking look sick. And then there's the one girl that's obviously like, and then there's the one fucking girl that's obviously like, oh, holy shit, be careful who you bully in high school, man. Yo, holy shit, man, what the fuck? But even beyond shonen as well, the other time skip I remember is Nagi no Asakara, right? Nagi no Asakara. And the one other thing I love about time skips is just seeing how everyone, all of these characters react to each other. Like I said, it's like a high school reunion. You get to see a whole new kind of like character interactions, because you get to see characters kind of catch up with each other and get as surprised as we are as to what these different characters have become. I don't know. I love it. I love it. I can't think of a time skip that has not made a show more interesting in my eyes. Give me more time skips. I don't think enough anime have time skips. Oh, remember Gurren Lagann? Remember Gurren Lagann seeing Simone all grown up and seeing him fucking pop off and like after coming, oh fuck, man. Oh, the more I think, the more I'm like, yo, time skips is peak, man. It is, time skips is peak. I fucking love time skips. Yo, everyone's saying Boruto. Everyone's saying Boruto. Like Boruto has a time skip. That means the time skip made Boruto worse. You know, the time skip is what made people start paying attention to Boruto again. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Attack on Titan time skip as well. Gee, like going from like season 3 to season 4, and then everything changed, and it was a completely different genre of show, bro. That's it's like, at worst, a time skip will get people talking about your series again, like Boruto. At best, it is some of the most interesting shit. You can completely change fucking genre like you did with Attack on Titan. Yeah, time skips are goated. I am going to the grave with this one. Just give me more time skips. Training arcs. It's A tier. It's not as hype as it's not as hype as the tournament arc and the time skip, but it is nice just to know that you're about to get like progression, because here's why people are like, just skip it. Nah, you need the training arc. Okay, here's the ultimate combo, right? Here's the ultimate combo. Do you know why it's A tier? Because training arcs go hand in hand with either a tournament arc or a time skip. All right, it's the build up, knowing that you are going into a tournament arc or a time skip arc. Okay, that's why it works. That's why it works so well. Training arcs don't hit as hard if it's just a training arc that doesn't lead into like either of these ones, to be fair. I think the one that affected me the least was probably the Deku training arc. Like, he learned kind of like full cowling back then, and that was the one that I was just like, I'm okay with it. But it is still nice to have a training arc knowing that the main character is progressing, because there has been so many times where hold on, guys. You calling my name? You okay, Sydney? Alright, Sydney was just having a moment. Where was I? Oh yeah, training arcs. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I like about training arc is just knowing that the main character is gonna get stronger and progress. And there's been a lot of times where you watch, especially a shonen anime, and it's just 100 chapters and there is no progression. And you know that it's gonna come when a training arc happens. That's what I like about it. All right. Moving on to transformation sequences. Which is, I guess, is the last one since we're not doing genre deconstruction. It's very much execution dependent. Very, very much execution dependent. Sometimes they can get tiring and get old really quick, but if used in the right way, they can bring the hype, baby. They can bring the goddamn hype. So very much depends on the different anime and how overused it is with the transformation sequence, because especially in some older anime, you know, especially in some older anime, it got boring very, very, very quickly. Okay. And that was it for my favorite tropes in anime. This is a very weird list, but it is my list. If you probably disagree with this list. I'm just looking at this now. I'm just trying to remember the logic I went through, and I think I was just like, yep, yeah, it's whatever. But that was my list, guys. If you agree, if you disagree, please comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm streaming this live on Twitch. You can catch me on twitch.tv/Giguk. But anyway, that's been it from me. I've been Giguk, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.